La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Oh, Rabbi, so happy to see you.
Anti-Semitism. It's the backbone of the Megillah. Haman takes a feud with one Jew, Mordechai, and turns it into a campaign of genocide against all of Haman's. Description of the Jews to King Achashverosh is summarized in 2 verses of the Megillah. It's a statement about Jews that sounds like it could have been said in so many different times of Jewish history. Here are the verses in chapter 3. Haman said to King Achashverosh, "There is one nation, scattered and spread out among the nations, in all of the provinces of your empire, and their laws are different from every nation, and they do not follow the laws of the king. And for the king there is no value in leaving them alone. If it's good for the king, let it be written to destroy them, and I will weigh out 10,000 kikars of silver by those who do the work to bring to the king's treasury." Haman, without even naming the Jews, says about us, we're not just different, but our differences make us a danger to the whole empire. We don't integrate. We're dangerous because we're everywhere, an international conspiracy group. And the last part about the money, one interpretation is that Haman thinks that the Jews of the empire are rich and the king will miss all the taxes that they pay if they're killed. So Haman volunteers to compensate the king for his lost revenue. These are all slanders against the Jews, needless to say. And they are the same slanders that have been said about us over and over again. Haman was one person who believed them, and he kept these views to himself until something happened. Mordechai wouldn't bow down to him. Mordechai threatened Haman's power. Then Haman found a person more powerful than himself and figured out how to use him against the Jews and got the king to write this in an edict that would be published everywhere. That's how it works always, whenever anti-Semitism spreads. I don't want to gloss over this or tie it up in a neat bundle, but I am amazed that the Megillah manages to pack all this insight into anti-Semitism into just a few verses. I do also want to say that the Megillah's response is that the Jews do answer these slanders in a very public way in their own behavior. Esther and Mordechai don't just organize successful self-defense among the Jews. They make sure that Jews celebrate Purim in the future, not just by telling the story of a near genocide, but with mishloach manot and matanot la'evyonim, by being generous to each other and by helping everyone who's in need. And they become rulers in the empire who take responsibility for the well-being of everyone in that empire. It's just the opposite of every point in Haman's slander. And that allows us on Purim not just to say that we defeated Haman, that we can laugh at him. So let me read what Haman says in these verses that I quoted, just the way I would read them in the synagogue on Purim. Vayomer Haman Melech Achashverosh ישנו עם אחד, מפוזר ומפורד בין העמים, בכל מדינות מלכותך, ודתיהם שונות מכל העם. וידעתי המלך אינם עושים, ולמלך אין שווה להניחם.
Take that, Haman.